suffer. My God never suffer. Do you believe? According to the teachings of Buddha, even the God themselves suffering. Even the God themselves suffering. Because now, if someone say only one my God is not suffering, then many religions, many gods already. And that means all those gods are suffering. Why? The gods still hatred, the gods still love, the gods still have the feeling. When the gods still have the feeling, means the things still be changed. According to the causes, the cause can make the God according to the causes. For example, the cause make the God to love their people. Then if their people not following what the God teach, what the God expected to be, that means the God's also suffering. But we are not going to complain to the other religion because they believe what they are believe. We believe what is the Buddha being given us the sermon. We follow the teachings of Lord Buddha. Then we are not going to complain to the other belief. But that we can say that even the Buddha himself, more than 45 years, he is searching and investigating a lot, all the billions of universe. No other teaching that can bring the people or the being, mean not only human being. Beings mean every being. Animals also beings. Gods also beings. But three is not a being, but not complete a human being. The three are some of the some kinds of being, but the being going to be suffer. Every being is suffering. Even this the building, also the being. But what does the being mean? Being means the four elements. What are the four elements? Earth, Prithvi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo. All four elements is permanent? No. All four elements are nothing permanent. Then the tree or the building is a part of Prithvi, Apo, Tejo and Vayo. Then the building go beyond the suffering? No. Why? Because only someday in the future, only 100 years, this building will be demolished, will be destroyed. Not just on the being, no, not just on the building, even the universe itself. The universe permanent or impermanent? Impermanent. Even the universe itself impermanent. Why? Because it's according to the cause. The cause can change the world. Even the corona, it can be changed. It can be changed. Why? The cause is coming by what? Maybe someone makes something strange. For example, like they eat to the bat, they cook the bat, right? The bad bird. And due to according to the teachings of Buddha, if anyone have opportunity to read about the Ratana Sutta. You remember Ratana Sutta? Yeah. Ratana Sutta is taking place in India during the times of Buddha. The state of Vachi taken place. If we study about the Ratana Sutta, what is made deceit? The one who made deceit means kind of the species. What that species? The species of that being we call Asurakaya. The kinds of Upapatika. Some of the Upapatika are. The Upapatika mean not just only Theravada or the God. Even the being, for example, like in the the dust, in the dirt. Suppose in this pond, in near to the Mawakor building, right? A lot of situation, a lot of element can create something, some other being. How many, according to the teachings of Buddha, there are 4 kinds of being be born. Like a Sangsedecha, Opapatika, Andacha, Chalapusha, like this. Sangsedecha, like in the mountain, when the waterfall is falling down, right? And it's touching to the stone, then make a lot of collecting a lot of dirt in the stone. And for some day, the fern, the kinds of being born in that stone, right? Or maybe some of the germ, some of the beings, small being, 100 species of beings are born according to the dirt. That we call Sangsedecha. For example, now even the scientific proof in your face. Suppose someone takes some of the nice knife and touch your skin and then put into the microscope. A lot of being in our skin, a lot of being in our skin. The skin are eating by some of the species in our face, in our body. If you don't, Corona. That's a Corona. Suppose you didn't take a bath for many days, it's collecting a lot of dirt in your body. Then some of the species are being born in your body. That is a Sangsedecha. And Antacha, something is born in the egg, like a chicken, and even some of the big being, they have the egg. But how about we are? We are kinds of not Sangsedecha, it's not Antacha, it's not Opapatika, Chalapusha. We are born as a Chalapusha, right? These kinds of being, whole universe, billions of universe, not go beyond this. This is we call the rule or the nature. Okay, now about the Santati Mahatma for Soka. Now he can reach all the Soka. When he followed the teachings of Lord Buddha, this when he was listening to the teachings of Buddha, the meditation is going on. He's not just only sitting and then falling up and rising up and falling down. He's not say that. But what happened? He's following every step of the teaching. What happened? That right view, Samma-Ditthi, right? When he listen to the teachings of Lord Buddha, the right view is making intermingle. The right view is making intermingle and then going to the Samma Sankappa. Samma Sankappa is the right thought. His thought is going on. The right thought, what is meditation? Right view can be samatha, and Samma Sankappa can be vipassana. The samatha and vipassana is going on when he is going to speak and the right speech, when he is going to act, the right action, when he is going to live his life, he is going to live as a livelihood, when he is going to effort, Samma Vayama, and when he is going to mindful, he is Samma Sati. When he is going to concentrate, what is his concentrate? He following the teachings of Buddha every step. intermingles of Eightfold Path are making intermingle. Then he is gain enlightened. When he gain enlightened, then he thinks about himself, about his life, what's going to happen. He knows himself that he's going to die within 7 days, mean today. He's going to die today. Maybe his mind is, because of the shock, his drum is run away, and his mindfulness is coming, and he gain enlightened, and then he's going to die. Then the Lord Buddha came to know all his thinking. Then the Lord Buddha said that, Santati, before you die, would you like to say any Dhamma for the public, for the people? No, he made himself because he get the supernatural power also. We call it pinya, right? Yeah. And he jumped up into the sky for about the big tree of the palm leaf. Then he's coming down and walk to the Lord Buddha and pay homage to him that you are my masters, I am the disciples of the master. I would like to pay my homage to the Lord Buddha. Then he jumped again into the sky 7 times, and he vowed the same word, my Lord, I am disciples of my Lord. You are the masters of me. Like this. After that, he passed away. After that, the Lord Buddha said that, please take his relics, his bone, to make a stupa in the city for the people to worship. Even he's a layman, and then the monk saying something, what happened? What should we call him? He's the Sangha or is not the Sangha? Then the Lord Buddha, in that tradition in those days, if the monk gathering together for 2 or 3, they will have to put the mat seed, the seed for Lord Buddha, the extra seed, because they may not know the Lord Buddha may come any minute. Because the Lord Buddha may come by any way. No one can imagine how the Buddha will come. The Buddha will appear immediately in the front or above the seat of they are preparing. That's why most of the monks in those days, if they're going to do any discussings or any talking, they will have to put the seat for the Buddha. Then the Buddha come and then ask, what are you talking about? Because then he's been reported by them that, sir, we talk about the Santati Mahamad. What should we call him? He's a noble Sanghas or he's a noble, what should we call him? Then the Lord Buddha said, even he's a lay people, doesn't matter how will he dress. Dress like a layman, dress like a Miss Universe, dress like a monk, or dress like a Mr. Universe, or anything, or dress like Indian, or dress like a Thai, doesn't matter how you dress. But if you are enlightened, that means you are part of the noble. That means one of the noble Sangha. Doesn't matter, male, female, layman, or monk, or robbers, or kings, or anything, the same. This about the story of Soka. And how about the Pariteva? Anyone have ever heard about what is the Pariteva? For the example of one who got the Pariteva. ร้องไห้มีคร่ำครวญ in Thai คร่ำครวญ or in English we can say grief. Grief means you are shaking your bodies and punching your head and anyway to make yourself suffering, and by jumping, by crying, by throwing the stone, throwing the glass because of the grief. The example in Satipatthana Sutta, the commentators or the commentary have given the example of one bhikkhuni named Patachara. Have you ever heard about her, Patachara? Yeah, Patachara. She is a bhikkhuni. She's I think in the history of Buddhism, no one going to have as much as her.
Yeah.
Someone have been already in Pali, no doubt. But anyone who never, should I say about Parideva sample? Yeah, Parideva. I think a little bit about her story, right? Because if we go deeper into the meditation or 7 benefits without telling the story or the Chataka or the story taken place, you will not remember. But if we say something about these 7 benefits of practicing of the Satipatthana Sutta, about Uttesavara Katha, if you take the story of the thing happened in the past, easy for us to remember. Parideva for the bhikkhuni named Patachara. Before I go to the history of bhikkhuni Patachara, did anyone preparing for the talk today? Anyone preparing for the talk today would like to talk anything about the Satipatthana Sutta? What you have gone through by your own language or by English or by your own experience? If you have preparing, please show and tell me. I will let you talk and let you interchange about in our class. If not yet, then I'll go on with Parideva, okay? Okay, going on with Parideva. Parideva, the Patachara was a beautiful girl and only one daughter of the millionaire. She is a millionaire, means she was a daughter of only girl in the family, and she has a brother. You know brother? Means Pichai. Yeah. And father and mother. And due to the father and mother want to protect her, they built the 7th story of the building and let her stay in the 7th floor. For the modern day, I think like a condo house. Condo house. Most of the people in modern world, when their children going to study somewhere, then they buy the condominium, they buy the flat and let their children stay in that building. Maybe safe, maybe easy for the transportation, for the journey. The same, those days, if they want, the father and mother want to protect their daughter, then they build a 7th story. And no other man can see her except one servant. A servant from the remote country, from the countryside, come to live in the family, to serve in the family. He's only one allowed to bring the food, bring the thing for her in the 7th floor. And then she fall in love with the boy. And when the boy and girl fall in love, but without knowing by the father and mother, by parents, then the parent manage one man, the billionaire or million family also, millionaire. The son is born of another family going to marry. Then she told to the boy that she was falling in love. Now I'm going to be married to another family. If you really love me, please take me, run away from home. What happened? She do. Then they make an appointment. Okay, I will dress as a servant. she hold the pot on her head, and then because most of the Indians, when they go to the river or to the somewhere to bring the water, come to the home for the servant in the family, they always dress, and then they put some of the dust like the black charcoal from the house and dress like a servant. And she was waiting for the boy in front or in outside of the city, and then the boy going, and then they run away from the city to live somewhere not so far, about maybe 100 kilometers. For example, like this, suppose this MCU is a city, and they go and live at a Pak Chong like this, or Saraburi. The father and mother will not be able to follow where they are. For some months they live together. What happened? The baby is going to happen. Mean they live together, they are going to produce a baby. And one day, the Indian tradition that those days also they believe that if one is going to have a baby, most of the girl will go back to the family. The father and mother will take care the girl who is going to release the baby. Then she asked the husband, please brought me back to the family. I'm going to give the childbirth in my father and mother house. Then the man said, no, if I go there, I will be killed. Are you sure that he will be killed? 100%. 100%. Those days, no, please excuse me, I did wrong already. No excuse me. No excuse me. It means only one thing, execution. Mean kill. Yeah, kill only. Then the man cannot brought her back to the family. And when she got request again and again, he never go. Then he locked the door, or he left the house by herself, and walking by told some of the neighbor that if my husband coming back, please tell him that I'm going back home. Then the husband coming from the farm and listen from the neighbor, they following her. When they reach to the jungle where she cannot walk so fast, because she's pregnant and she almost given the release already. When the husband following, then try to ask her, oh, please don't go. If you go there, then your father, mother will kill me. They are arguing, and then between the arguing, then what happened? Now it's time. Then she don't know how to do. The man also the new husband, and the mother also new mother, and then the baby born anyway. And then anyway the baby was born. When the baby was born, then what they say? Oh, what going to go? Already now come out. Then we don't have to go. Then they come back to the house. When they live in the house again for several months, then another baby coming again. Then she thought in the same way. Then she ran away from home the same. The husband following, and then wait somewhere, nowhere. Mean no mention where they were. When the husband reached to the place, then they are arguing again, and after again and again discussing, then the baby is going to come. Then the girl said that please going searching, because now the thunder is coming and the rain is falling, very, very heavy rain. She asked the husband, please go somewhere and searching for the shelter. Due to the man not experienced, due to the girl also the city girl, and the man used to be in the countryside but not experienced. He's going and searching on the the place. But the thick place, a lot of tree, not just only the tree, you know. When the termites is made, the place is higher, then he thought that, okay, maybe this place, good place. Then he took a knife and tried to cut the tree to search and make the shelter for the wife.